I'm very excited. So many people send in all kinds of questions, and I feel like this one really sums up a few of them in one singular question.
Okay.
Are you ready,
I am
Mr.
ready.
Dating Expert? All right. What is the #1 first date mistake that most people make?
Such a good question. Okay. The #1 first date mistake I think a lot of people make is giving a second date an option. And I'm going to dive into this. When we go on the first date, usually we're thinking about chemistry, thinking about being attracted to that person. And we don't really ask questions that are necessary to find out if we're actually compatible. So what we do, we make sure that we're having a good time. Obviously, you know, we do our best to be as attractive as possible, maybe even put on a little bit of an act a little bit, because you want to be received well also.
Yeah.
But while we're doing all this, we're not asking questions that are actually important to a potential or a viable relationship afterwards. So, you know, questions about your values, questions about how do you spend your time when you have some free time, things that are really important to you as an individual, because you have to understand if you're going to go on a second date, it's not just about do we have a couple laughs together?
Yeah.
Do we find each other attractive? That is a good little building block, but you have to understand, is that person even going to be in the same city as you for, in 3 months?
Yeah.
And these are questions that it kind of blows my mind that do not get asked, and people get into relationships and then they have to navigate so many issues that if they would have asked questions on that first date, they wouldn't have even been in that situation to begin with. So compatibility is probably the thing that people are avoiding testing the most, and that's why they get onto a second date, third date, or even into relationships that just aren't viable.
I love it. So don't promise another date until you find out how the first one goes. Okay, well, I love that, and I think that's really great advice because I'm really big on being like, and we'll go hang out again, and then not the vibe.
If the chemistry is right, that's what you want to do.
Right.
You want to just keep it going, but again, that compatibility that's the factor that's really important to be paying attention to.
All right, well, Brock, if we have any more questions, where can we find all the information about you?
Sure, you can go to my website, brockolson.com. You can go to my Instagram, which is @BrockOlson. You can also follow me on YouTube, Brock Olson, the dating expert, where I'm constantly posting really high value videos on that as well.